I am Lamont at Large. Today we are at the Forrest Lawn Memorial Park here in Omaha, Nebraska. This here's the grave of John Lauritsen. He's buried next to his wife Elizabeth. Lauritsen is a very, very famous name in the banking world here in Omaha. Their company has holdings worth well over $1 billion. When he was 29 years old, he became the youngest bank president in the country. At that time, he was president of First National of Omaha. Very, very successful businessman, very, very wealthy man. He died July 21st, 2000, complications from a stroke. He was 83 years old. So this is the grave here of Frederick and Patricia Hawkins, a very famous name here in Nebraska. Frederick was the founder of Hawkins Construction Company, a very, very huge construction company. They've built a lot of interstates, airports, bridges all across the country. He played in his youth for the Cornhuskers. He was a football player. Very, very, very successful businessman, to say the least. So this is the Storrs family grave. You have Robert H. Storrs' name, who was the figurehead of the family. He's buried here with his wife, Mildred Storrs. You have his daughter, Susan Storrs Butler, her husband, and he had a son, Robert Todd Storrs. He was a very well-known and respected businessman here in Omaha, Nebraska. For a time, he had his own brewery, Storrs Brewery, and he was the director at the Omaha National Bank. Very, very wealthy family. His younger son Todd, he owned a bunch of radio stations here in Nebraska. And he's often credited with coming up with the top 40 format. He died in Florida of a stroke in 1964. Okay, here is the grave of Gilbert and Roberta Swanson. You may not know his name right off the top of your head, but that last name Swanson, very famous. His company is responsible for bringing to the masses TV dinners. He's actually not the inventor of the TV dinner. It was one of his VPs, Jerry Thomas, who had an idea, brought it to the board, and they ran with it. Originally, when TV dinners came out, they were 98 cents. And so it's because of this man's hard work and dedication that he allowed a generation after generation of lonely single men that don't know how to cook or fend for themselves in the kitchen. Thanks to him, we were all able to eat. So rest in peace to Gilbert Swanson. So we have another member of the Swanson family. This is Walter Clark Swanson. He was director of Campbell Soup Company, and at the time of his death, he was the president of the Butternut Coffee Company. He was playing golf on a golf course in Palm Springs, California in 1961, and he suffered a fatal heart attack. I do have to say, this grave right here totally caught my attention as I was driving through the cemetery. This is the grave of Josiah and Alma Wasson. They had no kids. Josiah was a very successful businessman in the banking world here in Omaha. And he died December 6, 1956. And his wife died 6 days later. Now, online, I was trying to find out what the meaning of this statue was, but there was no meaning. Some say it was supposed to be Jesus or some kind of mythical person that never existed. The faults of our brothers we write upon the sand, their virtues upon the tablets of love and memory. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. God called home a wonderful, loving, giving, caring, thoughtful, selfless, talented, and spirited soul. on April 16th of 2018. It was unexpected and has left a big hole and void in the lives of those who loved her, especially her two sons, Louis and Paul, husband David, and father Darwin. Alyssa would do anything to turn your day around. She was a kind, gentle, and beautiful woman. She always put others before herself and did the most thoughtful things to let you know she truly cared. We all loved her so very much and will miss her beyond comprehension. The next grave that I wanted to show, I've been spending better part of an hour and a half trying to find, and that's the grave of actress Anne Ramsey. You may not know her name, but you definitely know her as the character Mama Fratelli on the movie The Goonies. She also played Mama on the movie Throw Mama from the Train, starring Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito. She played the mother of Danny DeVito in that movie. Finally, I gave up looking for her grave, so I went to the office and they told me that she's buried in an unmarked grave per her family's wishes. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. And they drew me a map of where she might be, and this is the best area that I could find. She's buried next to the Smith Monument right here. And it's a shame that she doesn't have a stone, but if anybody ever comes to the cemetery, if you don't find the Smith family monument, you can find the bird suet feeder that I refilled. So luckily I had some of that stuff on me. This is the first time I've ever filled up a bird suet feeder. I believe that's how you pronounce the word. So wish I could have shown you her grave, but rest in peace to Anne Ramsey. She played one of the more memorable characters of motion picture history. Anne Ramsey, buried somewhere right in this area right here. This crypt right here actually has a door that you can see inside. I always look inside every time I pass one. It appears to be some statue right there. Can't see any names though, however. Maybe they're buried in the back. Okay, that is going to conclude my video. I am mentally drained from looking for the last grave. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's kind of short. I was feeling a little bit lazy today, didn't want to do one, but when I found out that Miss Ramsey was buried here, I couldn't leave the area without visiting her, and also Mr. Swanson. Thank God for those TV dinners. Yeah, not very healthy for you, but they're there in a flash, you know what I mean. So anyways, live but not live, but still alive. By the grace of God, thank you for being with me on another video. I'll catch up with you on the next one. Take care, y'all. Peace out.